Good morning. Okay, so speaking of, continue with the marriage question, Shantae, your opinion of, is marriage still something you prioritize, or is it not really a big deal to you? Why or why not?
Yeah, like I was saying, in my 20s, I was all about like I want to get married and I definitely want to be a mom, but of course, life doesn't go the way you always, you want it to go. So became a mom first, which I think was probably the most fulfilling for me, where I was at in my life at that time. Um, but now that, being a mom and how I view dating and marriage now, being a single parent, same thing like what Bree was saying is like, I grew up in a two-parent household. Like my parents will be celebrating their 37th wedding anniversary this year, even though they be fighting and going at it. And I just be like, listen, y'all,
That's real.
y'all need couples counseling. Don't be calling me with that.
That's real though.
But I grew up with that. So, I always wanted that for whenever I had kids. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. But I would, offline, like what we were talking about before, like with my son, he deserves the world and he absolutely deserves somebody that's going to be 1,000% dedicated to him and love him, because unfortunately the one that he carries half of his DNA has not showed up or really shown any type of
Yeah.
anything about being involved with anything in his life. I do it all. That's why I'm exhausted all the time, because I'm operating like it's two parents in this household. I give him double the love and double the attention because I don't ever want him to feel like when he gets older, something was missing.
Right.
But as far as marriage, it's just got to be the right one, because I'm not the easiest person to deal with. Like I'm a very alpha female, and I had to be like that because I'm also a single parent and I've been single for so long. I got to be self-sufficient. And like what Terry was saying, like it's like a crossroad, because I had my independence. I don't gotta worry about checking on nobody,
Right.
worrying about if somebody cheating on me, all that stuff. Like I just do what I want, and you get on my nerves, you got to go. Like point blank. Like I'm not putting up with, you know what I'm saying?
Straight
Like I'm
up.
getting too old for the bullshit. Like I'm no. So like the man that would be worthy enough, because we talking about self-manifestation, because we are queens on the Zoom call, and men should treat us as such. So you ain't gonna half step, you gonna half ass nothing. Like if you want to be with me, you got to understand what I'm passionate about, that my son is priority, and sometimes you're gonna have to take a back seat sometimes
Right.
because my son needs support and help navigating through this world. You know what I'm saying? It would be a different situation if his dad was involved, but he's not. So that man is going to be stepping into that role as a father figure, a male figure in my son's life. Also has to understand my son not going to take it easy on you, because one, he don't play about his mom. Two, he going to look at you like, who are you and why are you stepping into my household? Because I'm the head of household. I run this, even though I don't pay bills, but I
I'm
run
king.
this. I'm the king of this. So it's
Absolutely.
just a lot of things that, and also what Bree was saying, it's a dumpster fire in this city. Half of these men got mommy issues. They need to go to therapy. They broke. They don't take care of their own damn kids.
Right.
So you gonna try to come over here and do what? What exactly? You can get
Yeah.
penis anywhere.
Right.
That's not something, you know what I'm saying? Like
That's not the
no.
hard part. Yeah.
Right.
Anymore. Anyway, Shay, did I get to you about that? Did I ask you? Okay. All right. So at this point, I think we're all pretty much on the same page when it comes to marriage. I think also too, the bottom line is people have to understand why marriage is not a joke anymore, especially in this day and age, because apparently everybody's gotten their priorities all fucked up in this generation. And I don't know why.
It's too much accessibility. That's really what it is.
Yep.
It's accessibility.
Yeah. People need to understand that therapy is not a bad thing, one. So if you really do need to understand who you are before you go into a relationship, please do it. Because I'm not one to sit here and tell you that I know everything about relationships, because I only had a few, and the few that I've had is nothing really to work. Situationships is what I had. I never had love full blown mature relationships, but situationships. They just happened in that season and then they were over. And so that's why I say for me, there's a lot of levels to this. And so I'm not willing to commit if I'm not ready. So you're right. We are queens. And at this point in my life, I'm not trying to waste time either. So moving on, One more question. I wanted to ask on my own. We all are into the sports. That's basically our link on top of being on Twitter and social media. But the sports world has definitely seen more appearance of women. But I do think we're still having an issue with understanding what women can bring to the sports world. Now, in my eyes, even if we see like a Maria Taylor, if we see Joy Taylor, any of these women, do you really feel like the role in the women's world in sports is really sufficient, or do they have to do more? Because I don't know if really, and even just like the race issue, you know, with what the NFL was trying to pander towards people of color. Do you feel like the woman's role in sports is important today, or do you feel like it's just kind of a filler for the men in that realm? Shantae, what would you say?
Honestly, I really can't like give like a full answer because I only see like stuff like on Twitter and everything,
Yeah,
but
because I'm a big
I,
proponent of it.
well, the only thing I do see, they be bashing Kate, the one that replaced.
Girl,
Oh, Scott,
They be
yeah.
they be bashing the hell out of her after every game, especially the one, not
But
the one we just
why?
lost, but
I like
the
her.
Because she's
yeah,
new, I think that's all it is. I think it's
yeah,
just
and it's always men talking about some like
uh-oh. Did she freeze? Is everybody frozen?
somebody's
Mhm,
voice is just irritating,
mhm.
calling her a lesbian. And what
Oh,
does her sexuality have anything to do with her knowledge of
it's just
calling a
somewhere
game
to
that you,
go.
but your big fat ass probably can't. You probably sitting there need to be on 600-pound life, but you criticizing a woman that probably know the game better than you. Shut the fuck up. Like,
well, that's the thing. I was arguing with someone about that today, and he made the comment, women aren't the only ones. I said, you don't understand what women go through. I said, we have to deal with a lot of shit. And he said, well, so do men. And I was like, you just don't get it. Y'all don't go through what we go through.
No.
right.
I said, we get these messages. We get this stuff in our inboxes all the time. It's creepy.
Right.
And I said, and he said, well, so do we, but you don't understand. We have to worry about crazy men like you hunting us down and trying to hurt us. Like, especially Black women, like we are the
Feeling
most
threatened.
disrespected, you know, people on the earth. And he just didn't get it. So I stopped arguing. And I think he said, well, women want to be equal. Okay, we do want to be equal, but we still, that doesn't mean that, oh, she's in a male dominant sport is what he said. And I said, but that doesn't give anybody the right to say to her and be in her inbox and say the stuff that that guy said to her.
And go that level. Like, why do you have to send somebody
Exactly.
DM?
So
like,
please stop trying to justify why he didn't or what she wants to be in this, blah, 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 because we have to deal with this stuff every day. And he said, well, men do too. I said, but you don't deal with it like we do. We're not going to come hunt you down and try to get one. Okay, well, some women might, but like
some of them do take it there. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just crazy that I stopped arguing because it's like, you just don't get it. I'm not going to sit here and argue with someone back and forth that doesn't understand what women go through, irregardless of what, you know, field they're in. We just go through stuff that we shouldn't have to. We need to be protected more, and no one wants to protect us. So
day after day, that still amazes me to this day that I still see Joy Taylor always fighting off people in her Twitter. And I always sit there and go, I always wanted to be tweeting at her like, Joy, don't answer these people. But I think as a woman, you do get tired of it, and it becomes a daily fight. And you wonder if it's just intimidation from men who feel like that's their space and that's the only thing they can be great in. And here you come, you know. And it's like, why though? You know, why does that intimidate you at all, that I want to actually do a sport that you do too? Are you worried I'm going to do it better? Is that really
that's what it is?
You know? Yeah, because someone like Serena Williams got a lot of that. She physically is very I think intimidating because she's so powerful in her body. But why does that mean that she should get the most hate? You know, especially after what happened once she had her daughter, and then it's like when she was losing big matches, and suddenly it was like it was cool to pile on her, you know, and because they assume that we can take it.
It's because she's a Black woman. That's what it was, because none of them other women had to deal with that. Like Serena did.
Yeah.
A fly just flew by me.
What happened?
A fly just flew right on by.
So Bree, I know you especially too. I even asked this too because of you. you and me both like loving to podcast and be out there in the sports world. I know I've gone through something back and forth. I'm sure we all have on Twitter, but I think especially you, because I know you have been doing the whole sports betting and promoting that. Why do you feel you get that kind of, even just doing what you like to do on the side as far as sports betting, why does that even ignite a lot of hate from men? I mean, I know Twitter's easy to do it because you don't have to deal with people face to face, but what is the real issue that you find that guys, try to come at you on Twitter for?
It's real. It really comes down to just being a woman.
Mhm.
That's really what it is. Men are intimidated by women who actually know what they're doing. And what I've seen in the years that I've been doing my podcast, in this past year where I've been like really hands-on with sports betting, men, they can't comprehend a woman knowing about sports betting, especially when she bets on sports that she's never played in. Obviously, a lot of women bet on the NBA. We can't play in the NBA, obviously, but we have the WNBA.
Mhm.
You bet on the NFL. We obviously can't play in the NFL, but we understand the game enough to look at stats, to understand trends, to understand matchups, all that stuff. Men can't comprehend a woman knowing anything about a sport or whatever that she's never been directly involved in. We see that all the time with the media. We see it on Twitter. It's everywhere. And the fact that men think that because they are behind a screen or a phone or whatever, that they can just come out and say any and everything that they want. And they will attack you for days because of it.
Yeah, I had a black son recently. I couldn't believe so many things I got back on Instagram one time. And that was just one comment I made about Aaron Rodgers. And I'm sitting there going, what is wrong with you? Like, I said one thing, and it's always these little, like, no picture. They got the numbers in the name. I'm like, what are you, a bot? Like, I'm just like, y'all just made an account today just to come back at me. It's just dumb
Those
stuff
be
like
the
that.
main ones.
Now, what do
The
you find, like, when you
three
coach,
followers.
when you coach it, like, do you find it as a coach, like when you train and stuff, like, do you get that kind of heat being in the track field world? Like, I just wonder, have you felt any kind of heat or whatever?
For the track, I can feel there's a lot more female coaches.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, it's still like, it's still gonna be more male. But I can say I really never, at least in where I work at, where I coach, I have a lot of more wiggle room to do what I have to do and not it be, question. So I could say, I guess in my circuit, when it comes to coaching, it's a little bit different.
Okay. All right. Because I was wondering.
I could say it's fair.
Okay.
Based on experience.
Have you dealt with any drama with the women in that field then? Because I know women can be petty too. So I'm thinking maybe in sports, maybe is it like that in track and field too? Because like we were just talking about with Sha'Carri earlier, it's like you can have other women kind of being petty with other women. Because that's the one sport I would think that we kind of should be all on one accord, because it's already hard to be as a female athlete.
Right.
But find that some women are real quick to be like, she's shady. She's not. I just wonder. Not yet.
In college, I can say when I was running in college, you have, especially when you're in the same conference and it comes to championships, like for the most part, everybody it's always one team, or like where, everybody says good luck to each other or they congratulate, and you just have one team that's just stuck just in their feelings, especially if they lost. They don't want to. So I have experienced that before, especially there's a story time. As a sophomore, I won the 800 meters for my school conference, and I beat the girl at the time. She was a senior. I beat her. She's been winning it every year, and then I come along, and I heard her say, as she was like catching her breath, she was talking to her coach. She was like, "They planned that." So basically, I took first, she took second, and then I had my teammate take third. So we got more points for our team. She said we planned that. I was like, no, I just outran you. like, how do we play? How do you like? I mean, maybe it was just what's the word? It was good strategy, but I mean, you didn't execute. So like,
Right.
I've had similar situations like that, but for the most part, you know, my competitions, you know, everybody's been cool.
Yeah, because I think that anybody who's competitive naturally is going to feel some type of way. But I just wanted to touch on that towards the end of this, because I think, like I said, with the link up, I want to get the idea that everybody has a general idea in mind that there's some issues out there that we have, whether it be competitive or whether it be spiritual, whether it be physical or mental. And I wanted to get y'all together because I feel like it's important to touch base, especially now in a new year. I mean, we're only the third month into 2022, and there are some things I also just wanted to check up on with y'all personally, because I know that we've talked during quarantine when I was doing this. And I thank y'all for doing this, because I'm just praying that, like I said, we manifest more, we talk it more, it's going to happen. So I just pray, and this motherfucker gave me 10 minutes, so I definitely shutting it down this time. But I wanted to tell y'all that I do pray and hope, and this is truly from the bottom of my heart, that everything by the end of this year works in our favor for real, because we deserve it. And because I just feel like going through these past 2 years with the quarantine and with the pandemic, it has definitely stressed what is more important in life, as opposed to all that crap we cared about in our 20s and our youthful years. And just use your wisdom wisely as you get older. I know Shantae about to be bae in the 40s. So you join in our decade, and you get older, you get wiser. And Shay's still the baby as far as I'm concerned.
When's your birthday? When's your birthday, Shay?
December 2nd.
December 2nd.
Oh yeah,
okay.
You're the baby. I'm November.
Yeah. So
89?
now.
Yep.
Dang.
89. What a year.
That was a good year.
It was good.
Damn, I was 7.
I was very sad. I was like,
I don't even want to talk about it.
But no, Terry, I mean, that's why, like I said, I feel like things happen for a reason. So you and me came together at the link. So I feel like the sports world is basically was bonding all of me with y'all. And I thank y'all.
Oh, definitely.
I thank y'all every time that y'all do this little project with me, because it helps my loneliness / anxiety a little bit, because sometimes I just need to talk to my girls, and I'm not a phone person as much as I used to be. So, there she is. Riley's like, are you done? Are you done? I love her though. But thank you guys again. And hopefully next time we talk is gonna be in person. So I want to
y'all
plans.
Look,
wait, hold on.
Let me know, Bree, what's up?
What day of the week do you guys want to go up to Trey's place?
What works for everybody as far as during the week? Is Friday good?
It was Sunday.
Friday, Saturday.
Saturdays would probably work better as far as me trying to find a sitter for Levi.
I'm cool with Saturday. Yeah.
I could do Saturday. It'd be in the evening, but like I said, Philly, where I live in, like the DC area is like not far, so
okay,
I can go after like a track meet or something. But my track meets aren't scheduled until the end of this month. So I mean, like I'm good. This for as far as weekends, the next couple of weeks or whatever.
Okay.
It worked, yeah.
Saturday good for you, Terry?
I'm open anytime.
She like, I'm open like 7-Eleven. All right, yeah. Let us know, Bree. If you want to, if we want to start a text or whatever at the end of this. Let us know what Trey says, because I'm down.
All right.
What money wise we got to put down or whatever. And thank you for linking up with me, y'all.
Thank you. Thank y'all for letting me troll the Sixers and not take it personally. Like other people on Twitter.
It's all love.
I had to put that in my bio. Sixers troll, like dang, like people be taking this down to heart.
I didn't even think about the Sixers as I am the Eagles. I think the thing with the Eagles kind of makes me hit a nerve. Sixers, I'm up and down because I'm like, whatever happens.
Y'all having a great year though. Like I hope y'all.
They may shock the world.
Go far.
It may be better than what I think right now. I'm just still kind of like happy for just game by game, because I don't want to get excited too much, because Every time Embiid drops to the ground, I get nervous. That's the only time I get nervous. If
Right.
he's down, then the whole team goes down because
Right.
he's been focused as hell in the last 2 seasons. So I give him that. He better get the MVP because I don't think this motherfucker is going.
He just gotta stay healthy.
He does.
Right.
I feel like he earned it though. He earned it last year
Right.
too, though. But
Right.
He didn't play enough games last year.
he didn't play enough. Right. That's what I'm saying. I think he's making an effort to be in the game, even if he's not.
Sit down.
Right.
Last night they
Right.
was just tired.
Okay, the payphone's gonna hang up soon.
I know. You see it. Time. Love
It ain't
y'all.
been 10
We'll link
minutes.
up again.
Bye.
We'll talk later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Watch